Iron Dome rockets fired to intercept Iranian missiles. More than 150 of them in all fired at Israel, and some got through.
Israel has executed a large-scale assault on Iran, dubbed Operation Rising Line, in a meticulously planned surprise attack. The operation targeted Iran's senior military leadership, nuclear sites, and key military infrastructure. The timing was strategic, capitalizing on Iran's unprecedented vulnerability, with its proxies in Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine severely weakened or eliminated, largely due to the resource-draining October Gaza war. This move aligns with Israel's long-standing tactic: hit hard when the enemy is at its weakest. The initial Israeli strikes were highly precise, eliminating top Iranian military figures, including the IRGC chief, the Air Force commander, and key nuclear scientists, while also targeting critical infrastructure. In retaliation, Iran unleashed a large-scale counterattack with hundreds of missiles and drones. This exchange of strikes has escalated the conflict significantly, raising the critical question: what happens next? Israel had been meticulously planning an attack on Iran for years, with Mossad conducting covert operations, including assassinating scientists, sabotaging nuclear systems, and embedding agents. They waited for the optimal moment when Iran was isolated, distracted, and at its weakest before launching the strike. The initial assault was devastating, not a mere warning but a direct blow to Iran's core. Iran hasn't experienced such intense attacks on its territory since the 1988 war with Iraq. The ongoing conflict's intensity highlights its potentially far-reaching consequences, not only for Israel and Iran, but for the entire region. The situation risks escalating further as Israel typically presses its advantage relentlessly, undeterred by the UN or global powers, pursuing its objectives decisively. Israel is likely to intensify its actions unless met with significant resistance. The challenge is that halting Israel is difficult without a robust Iranian retaliation. Israel likely weighed the risks before striking, but even if the situation deteriorates, the US and its allies are expected to intervene in Israel's defense. Regardless, the outlook for the region is grim. Negotiations or agreements over Iran's nuclear or missile programs are unlikely to resolve the conflict, given decades of failed diplomatic efforts. Iran recognizes that abandoning its nuclear ambitions does not guarantee the safety of its interests, as historical examples like Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi demonstrate. Both leaders relinquished their nuclear and missile programs, yet still faced aggression and were ultimately killed. Iran understands that yielding will not secure its survival and believes that only through strong retaliation can it safeguard its interests, much like North Korea, which developed and tested nuclear weapons and has avoided attack. When comparing the military capabilities of Israel and Iran, Israel holds a clear advantage in air power with advanced F-35 jets, cutting-edge drone technology, cyber warfare expertise, and precision strike systems far surpassing Iran's. Crucially, Israel benefits from near unlimited military support from its allies, who can supply any necessary weaponry and, if needed, might directly intervene in the conflict. However, Iran should not be underestimated. It possesses a vast underground missile arsenal, including ballistic, cruise, and even hypersonic missiles, concealed in deep mountain bunkers that Israel currently lacks the ability to target without U.S. assistance. If Israel achieves overwhelming dominance over Iran, enabling it to strike without fear of significant retaliation, it is unlikely to relent until it fully dismantles Iran's nuclear and missile programs. Iran's domestic stability could also be jeopardized, given Mossad's deep infiltration within the country. Israel may seek to bolster opposition groups to install a weaker government that poses no threat to Israel or Western interests. Should this occur, Israel could emerge as the unchallenged regional power, as Iran is the primary force capable of opposing it. This would be concerning for other major Muslim nations, such as Pakistan, which could face increased pressure. Any regional country opposing Israeli or Western interests might encounter similar aggression. China could indirectly be the primary target, as it risks losing a vital regional ally in Iran, a key participant in Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, and a critical component of its energy corridor. Additionally, the growing dominance of Israel and the U.S. in the region could pose strategic challenges for China, particularly if it aims to act on Taiwan, a move it views as crucial to establishing itself as a true global power. If Iran delivers a significant strike, crippling Israeli cities or targeting U.S. bases, it could draw the U.S. and NATO into a full-scale war, unleashing chaos across the Middle East. Gulf states and even nations like Turkey might be dragged into the conflict, transforming it from an Israel-Iran confrontation into a broader regional war, or potentially even a global conflict akin to World War III. Whether Israel gains the upper hand or Iran mounts a stronger counterattack, the situation is escalating rapidly. When two regional powers clash this intensely, the entire region and possibly the world feels the repercussions. The human toll would be catastrophic. Civilian populations in Israel, Iran, and neighboring states would bear the brunt of missile barrages, airstrikes, and economic collapse. Refugee flows could overwhelm Jordan, Turkey, and Europe, straining international aid systems. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts to de-escalate appear futile. Decades of failed negotiations over Iran's nuclear program, coupled with Israel's distrust of multilateral agreements, suggest that neither side is banking on a peaceful resolution. The United Nations, hampered by veto-wielding powers, is unlikely to broker a ceasefire that holds. For the region, the fallout could be transformative. A weakened Iran would cement Israel's position as the Middle East's preeminent power, potentially emboldening Jerusalem to dictate terms to its neighbors. This could put pressure on Muslim-majority nations like Pakistan or Qatar, which maintain independent foreign policies, but might face Western demands to align more closely with Israeli interests. Conversely, a resilient Iran, striking back with its missile arsenal, could rally anti-Israel sentiment across the region, fueling militancy and upending fragile U.S.-aligned Arab regimes. Globally, the conflict's ripple effects could reshape alliances and power dynamics. European nations already grappling with energy insecurity might prioritize stability over principle, urging restraint while quietly backing Israel. India, balancing ties with Israel and Iran, could find its strategic calculus strained. Smaller nations, watching from the sidelines, might accelerate their own pursuit of advanced weaponry, fearing a world where only the heavily armed survive. Whether Israel solidifies its dominance or Iran mounts a fierce counteroffensive, the trajectory is clear. The conflict is spiraling at a breakneck pace. When two regional titans collide with such ferocity, the shockwaves reverberate far beyond their borders. The Middle East is no longer just a region. It's a crucible where global power is being violently forged. Stay tuned, because this blaze is engulfing the region, rewriting its future, and threatening to set the world alight. Now, if you like this video, check out this next video right here.